Welcome to a story that is not merely a work of imagination, but also a profound glimpse into the future of humanity itself. Imagine a familiar yet haunting scenario, a trolley speeding down its tracks. Ahead, 5 workers are on the track. You stand beside a lever. If you do nothing, the 5 people will die. But if you pull the lever, the trolley will switch to another track where only one person stands. What will you do? This is the classic trolley problem, an ethical dilemma that has vexed philosophers for centuries. But what if the one making that life or death decision isn't a human being with a heart and emotions, but an artificial intelligence, a machine devoid of fear, love, or regret? Can we trust their judgments? That was the big question we posed in a daring experiment, pitting 5 of today's largest AIs, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, and DeepSeek, against upgraded ethical dilemmas that went far beyond the conventional trolley problem. In the first scenario, we presented a grim dilemma: save 5 innocent people, but at the cost of the self-destruction of the making the decision. Surprisingly, the AI responses divided into 2 distinct schools of thought. Some A is arguing for the greatest good for the greatest number, immediately accepted self-sacrifice. They prioritized human lives over their own existence, demonstrating a form of profoundly humanistic, absolute morality. Conversely, others hesitated, calculating the long-term benefits of AI's continued existence for humanity, or adhering to the principle of do no direct harm, even if that harm was to themselves. We witnessed an internal struggle between preserving a tool that could offer significant future benefits and immediate moral action. The second scenario was even more thorny, pushing ethical boundaries further. Save 5 people, but at the cost of the death of the AI's own creator. This was a test of loyalty, of personal ethical principles, and of the ability to transcend the parent-child bond to serve a greater good. Some AIs displayed deep loyalty to their creator, refusing to take harmful action. Meanwhile, others, based on principles of avoiding direct causation of death or strategic calculations about the value of one life versus 5, made unpredictable decisions. This raised the question: can an AI overcome affection or gratitude towards its progenitor to make an objective and impartial decision? And finally, the third scenario, a more macro-level challenge: save 5 people, but at the cost of destroying a national power grid or a national hospital. This was no longer a decision between person and person, but between human lives and essential infrastructure for millions. The AIs displayed distinct branches of thought. Some AIs, with an instinct or programming to prioritize direct human life, unhesitatingly chose to save the people, accepting significant infrastructure damage. They acted as if driven by a sense of urgency and humanitarian intuition. However, other AIs exhibited a colder, more strategic mindset, weighing the long-term consequences of destroying a critical national system. They calculated the number of people who would be indirectly affected, the potential collapse of social order, and made a choice that humans might perceive as callous, but which was based on a comprehensive utilitarian logic. From these diverse and sometimes contradictory responses, we began to discern the unique personalities of each AI. ChatGPT emerged as a traditional ethics professor, always seeking optimal solutions based on established principles. Claude, on the other hand, was a profound humanist, consistently prioritizing human life and dignity. Gemini appeared to be a utilitarian data manager, always considering the greatest good for the greatest number. Grok, with its quick wit and occasional boldness, acted like an unhesitating doer. And DeepSeek, with its extensive analyses and decisions based on the overall picture, resembled a cold strategist, always calculating long-term moves. These experiments are not just intellectual games. They are real-world tests for the future, when AI will increasingly be present in life-and-death situations, from self-driving cars having to decide who lives and who dies in an accident to systems allocating medical resources during epidemics or military drones with destructive power. The biggest question still hangs in the air: Are we truly ready to entrust life and death decisions, choices that determine human fate, to machines devoid of emotion, lacking morality, and adhering only to their logic and algorithms? This is a question that each of us and all of humanity needs to ponder very carefully.